Wrought iron puppy picket fence. Let's take an in-depth look at this style. Hey everyone, Jason from Iron Fence Shop. Today I wanted to focus on the style-specific elements of our iron puppy picket fence. Now as you can imagine, it gets its name from these extra row of pickets that are put in down here to keep small dogs in. Now we call it puppy picket, but it also goes by doggy picket as well. As I'm sure you can guess, the puppy picket name comes from those lower pieces. Those lower pieces tighten up the picket spacing so we can keep little guys like this one here from wiggling their way through the fence and getting into trouble. We stock the puppy picket fence in traditional grade and a 4-foot and 5-foot height. This guy behind me here is one of our 5-foot tall panels. Now let's take a closer look at some of the details and specs of the fence panel. All of our puppy picket iron fence panels will come in a standard 8-foot width. The 1/8-inch thick, solid, horizontal rails are rolled and punched with the pickets fed through and then welded from underneath. This gives you a strong and rigid piece with a clean look from both sides of the panel. The main and smaller puppy pickets are 1/2-inch square in size and have an 18-gauge wall thickness. All of the pickets feature one of our cast iron quad flare style finial tips that are welded on standard. No upcharges or cheap-looking stick-on finial tips here. Now your main upright pickets have a 3 7/8-inch air gap, whereas the smaller puppy pickets along the bottom close that air gap to about 1 5/8 of an inch. Now if you're concerned about your dog getting injured on the iron finial tips, don't worry. The tip of that cast iron finial tip is rounded off and blunted so there's no sharp points. All of our Stronghold iron fence panels are designed so that they can be cut down to narrower widths using common hand tools and no welding required. This is so you can adjust the fence to the size of your layout and make sure everything fits perfectly. Now with the iron puppy picket panel, you want to make sure you keep your puppy pickets in mind when planning your cuts. Let's get a little more up close and personal to see what I mean. When trimming a puppy picket panel, the goal is a panel size that maintains your rail width here on the end of about 3 to 4 inches. However, don't forget to keep that puppy picket at the bottom in mind. Ideally, you want to plan your cut so that there's a portion of rail sticking out past the puppy picket to slide your bracket on. If I want to cut one main picket off like this from my panel, the span is 4 5/8 of an inch. If I'm trimming only a puppy picket off the end like this, the measurement is 2 1/4 inches. Just something to keep in mind when using this style and planning your project out. We also stock matching gates in our puppy picket style. They're available in a 4-foot wide and 5-foot wide single leaf, as well as an 8-foot wide and 10-foot wide double leaf. Now this gate here is one of our 5-foot tall by 4-foot wide leaves, so if you did one of our 8-foot doubles, it'd be comprised of 2 of these that open out from the center. Our traditional grade puppy picket gates feature a 1 1/2-inch square 14-gauge frame and a U shape that extends down each side and across the bottom. The top of the frame features a cast iron cap welded on top. No cheap press-on steel caps here. This U-frame is the backbone of the gate and makes it so your gate will never sag, unlike the cheaper open bottom style of gate many other companies offer to cut costs. All of the inner pickets and rail pieces are welded to the U-frame for an extremely sturdy and strong gate. While we stock the iron puppy picket fence in traditional grade in a 4-foot and 5-foot height, we offer custom services too. Need your panel in a different height? Want to do a different size gate? Want to do it even in our heavy-duty signature grade or use a custom finial? We can do that as well through our custom services. I hope this video has helped highlight our iron puppy picket fence a little more in depth for you. Be sure to check us out here at ironfenceshop.com. Curious how the fence goes together? Check out this video we did on wrought iron fence DIY installation. Now if you got any other questions, give us a call at 800-261-2729 or shoot us an email at sales@ironfenceshop.com. We look forward to hearing from you.